everybody. Dr. Perry Bard here, and on behalf of Dr. Eric Kaplan and a host of some very, very cool doctors that are hanging out with us tonight, welcome to the Decompression Neuropathy Success Zoom Hangout meeting with us tonight. We got some very cool stuff to show. We got some very cool stuff to share. We got some very cool stuff to give. And we're just having fun. And the fact is, we're going to cut right to the chase. We're going to go into something right away. We're going to show you a video right away that was actually made a little bit of time ago. We debuted it at the National Spinal Decompression Certification. But there's a reason that I'm showing you this video first and foremost. Never shown before in a Zoom meeting before, ever. And that is, this video speaks to one thing. And what it speaks to is it speaks to headspace. And when I say headspace, what I mean is very simple. What I mean is that it'll really tell you, in essence, how you should approach the playing field of one thing. That thing is new patients. So we're going to kick it off there, and hopefully I can share my screen. So fingers crossed. Let's see if we can do it. Let's see if it works. Come on, baby. Hopefully it'll work. Tell me if you could see my screen. Can you see my screen? Yeah, I think you can. Perfect. All right, let's kick it off. Here we go.
Attention, doctors! Tonight, in breaking news, we have been informed that there is no shortage of new patients. I repeat, there is absolutely no shortage in your area of new patients that need you right now. According to our news reporter, Dr. Benjamin Dover, who has surveyed practices in the field for the past year, we have also discovered that there still remains chiropractors with their heads stuck up their The good news is that this is being corrected as we speak. If you are a chiropractor utilizing non-surgical spinal decompression, you now have an abundant opportunity to help your patients suffering from the effects of degenerative bulging and herniated spinal discs. These patients need you right now. As a doctor, you can help them avoid dangerous opioid medications, risky spinal injections, and often unnecessary surgeries. So on behalf of Dr. Eric Kaplan and Dr. Perry Bard, aka your biggest fans, I encourage you to open up your heart, open up your mind, and this will open up your practice to unlimited potential for new spinal decompression patients who want and need you right now. On behalf of Disc Centers America, this has been the News at 11, and we return you now back to your regular programming.
Did you love that? In our business, in our world that we all share together as chiropractors, this is an above-down, inside-out thing. It all starts that way. We're going to kick it off. Dr. Kaplan, will you help kick off this amazing decompression neuropathy love fest here tonight?
That was amazing. It was. You know, it's amazing that puppets sometimes know more about decompression than doctors do. Yeah, that's so true. I can't believe it. I know. And Scotty, here we are with Dr. Bard. What do you think of that news show? Watch it every night, like the you. I mean, it's unbelievable what takes place with decompression. Meaning, are you a chiropractor or are you a dummy? Pretty obvious to some of us. Are you a chiropractor or are you a dummy? You know what? Richard Branson said there are the 3 I's in healthcare. There are the innovators, there are the imitators, and there are the idiots. Now, first of all, as I sit here and I look around the room and I see major hitters, Mark LeFagio, who can close who knows how many knee cases a week. My son, my hero, See, Dad, look at this, baby. I'm trying to copy you and Jason. Jason doesn't like it, but I'm working on it. But it's because you and Jason are my heroes. I figured, how do I, hang out with you guys? The point that I'm trying to say is, doctors, Perry and I, Dr. Bard and I, always have the conversation, what separates the winners from the whiners? Why do you have a person like this, a Kim Wong, who does, oh God, 7 figures a year, Marco Sazio, these are $1 million practitioners. You have guys like even Foster Collum, who's an MDDC. You have people, today I spoke to Henry Jenkins, and he joined us tonight. Good to see you, Henry. And I said, Henry closed the case. And Henry's relatively new, but I said, imagine, doctors, if you could close one case a week at $3,500. That's very conservative. One case a week, what does that come to? $14,000 a month, right? And that comes to 140, and then another, 14. Unbelievable. It's almost over $160,000 a year. Okay, for one case a week. If you did only one case a month, that would add $42,000 to your practice. Now, where do you begin? You set a goal. I'm going to close one case a week. But hold on. If one case a week, one case, Mark, one case. If Mark closed one case in a week, you'd have a heart attack. One case. If you close one case a week, doctors, I want to talk numbers first. One case a week, let's see. That's 14,000 a month. $168,000 a year. But hold on. Now, what if you close one knee case a month? Whoa. What if you close one neuropathy a week? If you close one of each per month, one knee, one neuropathy, one decompression, that's $16,000 a month at $4,000. Okay, that's, wow, 160 and then another 32, 190,000, one per month. Now, Henry, we spoke today because Henry closed the case. And that was the talk that we had. Doctors, set the goal. Goal setters are goal getters. Start with setting a goal of one per week. Because Perry will tell you the law of mathematics is 1 will equal 2, 2 will equal 4. And then Perry and I always have the conversation, what? And I'm going to leave you with a couple words tonight. I'm big on words. What? What do you want and what price you want to pay? When I see $1 million people here that are on this call, like Mark, like Kim, like my son, when I see that, and I'm saying, here they are on their evening, they could be home watching television, doing what they do. John Ziliak's another one. John and I had a talk today, told me a great story. And John had, another amazing month. Why? It's about focus. And John and I spoke today. What separates those? My son last week, Mark, John, he closed 5 cases on Monday. 5. Not one a month, not one a week, 5 in one day. And I said to Jason, hold on, what do you think the difference is? And he would say, Dad, it was about focus. It was about preparation. It's about practice. It's about perseverance. Meaning, I don't care about how many you close in a week. I care about those that walked away and said, it was too much money. I can't afford it. But what are they really saying? You're too much money. I can't afford you. Why do some people do it and why do some people not? Why can some people close cases? Tim Caraman, another big player, sent us a beautiful video. Anybody that wants to see the Tim video, send an email to Dr. Bard. We'll send it to you. Our clients make money. John Ziliak set another record month because, and what did I say to John? John, get your focus back. Why? He's one of the brightest guys I know. And we go on, and people say, because see, when people are struggling, what's struggling? Your confidence. The ability, let me explain to you something. I say this all the time. If a patient comes into your office and you say to yourself, consciously or subconsciously, is this personal injury? Is this cash? Is this Medicare? Is it work comp? You've already failed. You're thinking like a chiropractor. You're thinking like a salesman. No different than the guy walks in up to Mercedes. Do they think they can afford the car? They'll walk over to you. If you come in dressed like a schlub, they don't think you can afford it. No. Patients judge you as much as you judge them. But you see, when a patient comes to me, I don't care about what color they are. I don't care what religion they are. I don't care if they're liberal or Democrat or conservative. I care about one thing. Look at the picture behind Perry's head. And you're going to see an MRI of the spine. And if you look in the right-hand corner, and the left-hand corner is a dollar sign. So what does that tell me? Dr. Bard gets it. If you look to the right, that's why they come to your office. If you look to your left, that's why they'll pay you. It's that simple. Money will work for you. If you're chasing it, I mean, they're a guest here, and they say, give me the magic ad. Well, we give you a book. You come to the event, we give you a book that Perry Bard did. It's a success book. It's 200 pages. You want ads? I'll give you ads. See, because every chiropractor, what's the magic ad? There's no magic ad, doctors. Every ad that's ever been created, people have to some degree. What works, though, doctors, is the brand. So we did a test one time to prove the brand, the power of the brand, when I was the president of Nutrisystem. Never told you this story, Perry. So we brought a couple of people in. We did a little target group. And we took a bottle of Coca-Cola. And we poured the Coca-Cola in two glasses. One in each glass. And we said to the person, we need your opinion. Here we're going to give you a Coca-Cola. We want you to taste it. What do you think? Now, in the other glass is another flavor I want you to taste. It's the same price as the Coca-Cola. Which one would you buy? They sip the first one. That's good. They sip the second one. Yeah, it's good. It's a cola. But which one would you buy? 9 out of 10 people said Coca-Cola. And what happened to the 10th person? He had to go to the bathroom. 9 out of 10 people chose Coca-Cola. Why? They said, and then we said, why would you choose Coca-Cola? Well, we believe in the brand. We know the product has consistency. We know that we know the flavor will be there time and time again. But they were tasting, but the bottom line, doctors, they were drinking the same beverage in both cups. But they bought into the brand. And that's what we used to tell people in Nutrisystem. And that's what we tell people. There's a reason why this says America has more doctors and more real estate on the internet than any other group in America. They all come to us, even the head dogs. And let me tell you, they want to imitate me? Great. You know what? I wish them luck imitating this book. 800 pages, doctors. And if you don't have the book, I don't care if you're a client or a guest, you need to get the book. All the university profits, every penny goes to Life University. Dr. Bard and I last year donated over $110,000 to Life University. We gave them a decompression table. Companies don't give this stuff up. You know, I talk about studies. I'll talk about the Chevelle study done out of Emory University. Emory was so impressed with it, they bought a machine. They bought a machine. And there were doctors, even the talks that I'll have with my son. How many visits? So I'm going to give you something tonight I've never done before. Because I always recommend programs usually in the range of 20 to 30 visits. And then what my son taught me is you got to rest it. So what's this? Are you ready? The Magnuson study, 20 sessions. The Shirley Bergmeyer study. The Shirley Caladia study. Okay? 20 to 24 sessions. The Leslie study, 6 weeks, 24 visits. The Yoakum study, one of the lowest, 17 visits. The Ramos study, 20. The Beatty study, 24. The Gus Nagazuski study, which is the largest ever done, okay, was 20 to 35 visits. Now, what about the Gehring study, 28 visits? What about the Maccaro from Stanford, Pergolesi, from Johns Hopkins, 8 weeks, 23 to 24 visits. The largest one, look, doctors, look at me. No notes here. The largest one was the Ironman study, which was 40 visits. So what I'm telling you is chiropractors take change a light bulb 3 times a week, twice a week, once a week, until your insurance stops paying. Why do you think the insurance stopped paying, doctors? Chiropractors, somewhere along the line, doctors, you became a salesman. I don't want you selling. I want you educated. What's the worst case you could ever possibly treat? It's a disc problem. It's a disc problem. And if you don't know that, okay, then you're missing it. Because when they come into the office, you should know that right away. And if you want to do studies, the Bergmeyer studies on page 464, the Iowa studies 589. Why is the book so important? Because we can go over the World Health Organization, page 135, Adjustment Health, page 143, the Kleinfeld study, the Baby study, the Murphy study, the Murphy neuropathy study. You see, doctors, let me tell you something. When I went to chiropractic school, there was no decompression. There were no MRIs. Just because you're a doctor doesn't mean you have to stop studying. You know what it means? You have to start studying. It's now's the time. What do you want, doctors? Want. What do you want, and what price are you willing to pay to win? Win to me, W-I-N, whatever's necessary. What do you want tonight? You know, I admire my doctors that are here, because if I'm here, what do I want? The H. I want to help more people. I want to help more people. I want to heal more people. Remember, there's a beautiful thing in life. There's an action in life that you can't help others without helping yourself. Why do people get depressed? Because they think about themselves. Oh, I'm not happy where I am. I'm not happy with this. I'm not happy with that. But when you think about helping others, you stop thinking about yourself. Because let me tell you something. Who you are, I'll tell you all. Every person on this call is the same thing. You're a doctor. That means 24/7, 365. You want to play at this? Great. Play it. Play it. But you know what? When I see a person like Mark, and I see John Ziliak, and I see my son, I see Kim Wang, and I even see, God bless, Alan Delgado. Alan Delgado, you know, Alan, how old are you now? 81? Did I say that right? Because my lip reading is a little bad. I can bring Scotty back on. He's better at lip reading. You know, 81, and here he is. He's here learning because he understands what it takes. You have to want. You have to want to help people. Want. What's in it? I want it. I want it. And then, as Perry would say, the A is attitude. What's your attitude? If you're feeling sorry for yourself, you had a bad week, get over it. But let me tell you something. When people walk out and they reject you, when they reject care, they're not rejecting care. They're rejecting you. Man up and accept it. You know what it means? You didn't tell the story. You didn't sell the brand. You didn't show every one of our doctors that's new, okay, and all the new doctors, your name's included in the book. The new doctors will get you there. I want you to sit down and report a file and say, I helped write the book. And nobody but this says America can compete with this. Why? As Branson said, because those are the imitators. It's amazing how decompression is hot again. We made it hot again. Perry Bard and I made it hot again. Chiropractors were struggling. Mark, how much money less would you be making a year without doing knees or decompression? John Ziliak, even my son. If we were insurance only, he would not be able to pay his bills. Why? Because insurance companies don't want to pay you. You want to be in joints? Okay. Listen, I had my share of joints in college. Where did it get me? Right? Where did it get me? It got me nowhere. You know what? It got me nowhere, but only in trouble. The point is, doctors, what do you want? What? What does the word what mean? What do you want? Want. What price are you? W. What price are you willing to pay? H. If you're helping others and healing others, A, you will attain your goals. And as Perry would say, the clock is ticking. I want it now. I want it, and I want it now. And that's what I'm saying, doctor. So, you know, when we talk about the Nathanson study, the World Health Organization, the Shirley study, the Apple study, the Caladium study, you have to understand that these studies are part of my life. I mean, you know, my son loves when I rattle them off, but I don't rattle them off just because, you know, I read it once, I read it again, and again, and again. Why? Because I want it. There's an old story one time, a man went to Socrates. This one's for you, Devin. And a man went up to Socrates, and he said, how do I become successful? And Socrates said, walk with me. And they start walking. And it's in the Mediterranean, so Socrates walks into the ocean, and the young man, the young student, follows him in. And he takes him gently by the head and pushes his head down. And the guy doesn't know what he's doing. He thinks maybe he's being baptized. And then after a couple seconds, he tries to come up. Well, the harder he tried to come up, the harder Socrates tried to hold him down. And the harder he tried to go up, the harder, until he starts flailing his arms. And he finally breaks through Socrates' grasp. He said, what's the matter with you? What were you trying to do? And Socrates said, when you want success as much as you wanted air, you will find a way with every cell of your body to find it. My questions to you doctors tonight, what do you want? What price are you willing to pay? You know, one of the things that we do, I mean, you know, I challenge anybody. Listen, we want to play the challenge game, innovators, imitators, and idiots. There's too many idiots. Now everybody wants to get into decompression. Let me explain it. Dr. Bart and I have spent millions, not a million, millions of dollars developing this brand. We followed the outline of Nutrisystem. Millions of dollars. We've studied from McDonald's to Coca-Cola to Disney. That's why This Is America, from the website to the TV commercials. People want to be part of the brand, no different than the test study. Oh, I'll go with the Coke. 9 out of 10 went with the Coca-Cola. The other person said, well, you know, I like to be something new. But you know what? What if you close 9 out of 10 cases? What if you could close 9 out of 10? And you know what? Every week you need to manage it because, like I said, if you could do one knee case, for those of you not doing knees, if you're our client, we want you doing knees. Oh, what do you see? We have Knee Centers America. What do you see on the knee commercials? What do you see? All the neat, N-E-A-T, things we have on knees. Mark, raise your hand. How many knees you closed last week? 4. And I know Mark is a humble guy. He used to be humble, but we humble him. Mark's a humble guy. He's there with his daughter who's in life school, learning from a master. Your father is a master because he helped with the guys like him and John Ziliak. They worked, and John, your camera's not on. Put your damn camera on so I can see your beautiful face. What I'm saying is he did 4 knees a week, and Mark, was the average case about 6,000? Give me a yes. So he did 24,000 in knees, and if you're sitting there thinking, oh, I don't want to do knees, why not? I'm saying do 1 a month. 1 a month is $72,000. 1 neuropathy a month is $72,000. 1 a month. Why are you doing it? You know why? You don't want it. Oh, we all want it, but we're not willing to pay the price. You see, when you study that the Feldman Shore study showed there's 10 million disabled. Do you know that I'm going to give you numbers now. 80,000 surgical failures a year. 80,000. Let me give you numbers, doctors. Do you know, according to the BRAF study, okay, next. Let me give you numbers. Next. 180 million people are suffering from neck pain last year. It cost $132 billion. Low back pain. People suffering. 81 million people. Number 1 cause of disability in America. Shaw and Chappelle will show you the study. A cost of $138 billion. What about hip problems? 25 million. And you're worried about, whoa, what's the new ad, doc? What ad can I run? It's not about the ad. It's about you, doctors. You want to do it nicely? You want to show them the Leslie study. You want to show them the Pergolesi study. We do this nicely for our clients. And yes, there's an investment to make, but what are you investing in really? You're investing in your patients. You're investing in success. People want to go, I want to ask a question. Let's say, Mark, I was talking about you. Or John, I was talking about you. Or Giafrida, I'm talking about you. And one of your patients says, oh, I'm thinking about going to Dr. Giafrida. Is he any good? He's okay. Who wants to go to an okay doctor? I want to go to Devin Barr. Is he good? Oh, he's the best. He's the best. Might need a shave every now and then, but he's the best. He's the best. I mean, when when you see the numbers that are out there in back pain, and then you do the studies and the healing charts, and they understand epidurals are not even FDA approved. Yet, according to Dr. Dio, there was a 629% increase over the last year in people getting epidurals. 629%, and not even FDA approved for back pain. Are you kidding? Watch this. There was also an increase last year of 423% of opioids. So hold on. If people are going for opioids and people are going for epidurals, guess what? They didn't know what you could do for them. Why? Because you didn't have, when you come to the event, one of the videos that everybody gets, and all our clients should have it. If you don't have it, email Dr. Bard and we'll get it to you. It's the 3 C's. The capture, the conversion, and the close. And if you're a doctor, you have it, watch it again. Because listen, the business world is not hard. Doctors, get new patients, get them to follow the treatment program, right? And get them to pay. Why is that so hard? Why? Because the confidence of the consumer. The consumer wants to have confidence in you. Perry and I talk about the 7 C's. Confidence, control. I mean, all the C's that we can think about. Perry, give us some C's. You're the master. Perry's the captain. He's the master of the good ship lollipop. Give him some C's, Perry.
We wrote an article on it. If you're curious and you say, well, gee, that sounds kind of cool. I mean, when you think about capture, when you think about conversion, when you think about close, when you think about convergence and congruence, when you think about capitalism, when you think about C with regards to controlling your universe, your world, your party, your show, your practice. Your practice is your baby. We wrote an article for Chiropractic Economics. We called it the 7 C's of success. If you want it, shoot us an email. I'll be happy to send you a link to it. Or you can go on the Chiropractic Economics website and go back. I like to write an article for them about once a year. Dr. Kaplan writes a lot of articles, as you know, for the American Chiropractor, and they're so amazing that they've actually been all put into a book now, and we could talk more about that. We're actually going to be giving that book away at our upcoming Chiro events at more. It's called, believe it or not, you want the title of the book? I'll give you the title of the book right now. Ready? It's already been done. The book is done, actually. It's just being, the typeset is being finalized right now. It's called All Roads Lead to Disc. All Roads Lead to Disc. That's the title of our next book. I can't wait to put it in your hands. We added some bonus stuff for it too. That's why books take long. If you're curious why Dr. Kaplan and I take so long to write a book, it's because of all the revisions. I kid you not. Wait till you see it. We cannot wait to put this book in your hand. And there's another amazing book. That's actually the university edition. What he's holding in his hand right now is actually the university edition of the Ultimate Spinal Decompression book. The Ultimate Spinal Decompression book that Dr. Kaplan and I wrote is over 800 pages. That book is just shy of 400 pages, but that's the book we donated to Life College, Cleveland Chiropractic, National Chiropractic, Parker, Palmer, you name it, Northwestern, and so much more. We are donating these books to these schools because it's all about paying it forward. It's all about, and last but not least, my favorite school, begins with a K. It's called Kaiser College of Chiropractic Medicine. Dig it, brother, because there's a new sheriff in town, and I'm looking at him. Yes, all roads lead to win. Congratulations on being 8 weeks away from the title that everybody has. Milan, it's coming your way. Get ready. It's so exciting and more. I got so much stuff to show you, share with you. But guess what? One of the things Dr. Kaplan and I love that when we do these with these Zoom meetings is that we always, one of the reasons you might say, well, gee, I see a lot of familiar faces. I noticed that obviously Dr. Kaplan's calling out these doctors, Dr. Delgado and Dr. Schisler in Canada. Can't wait to see you in 2 weeks, brother. Yeah, we have Dissenters of Canada now. That's right. We have a Dissenters of DCOC doctor on with us right now. The incredible Dr. Mark Lesagier, the incredible Dr. Tim Cameron. The reason they keep coming back is because of what's going to happen in the next 2 minutes. Oh, wait a minute. Next 2 minutes. Yeah, the next 2 minutes. We're going to show you something we've never showed before. We're going to share something we've never shared before. And this, in and of itself and by itself, is a tool that you can use to be able to really stack the deck in your favor, to be able to communicate better, educate better, and take it back to the facts. Just the facts, ma'am. Give me the facts of life. And the facts of life are simple. Give me more education. If I'm your patient, give me more education. Answer my questions before I ask them. Make me know how much you care about me and work with me financially if I need a little bit of help. If you're willing to do that, I will be yours forever. We even have the incredible Dr. Mark Shane. And by the way, we're in the process of booking a trip to a place called Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And we have, from the great state of Wyoming, Cody, Wyoming, the great Dr. Mark Shane. I cannot wait to see you at the national certification. So great seeing you at the master class in LA we just did. That was crazy, crazy good. So much fun. But I want to show you something real quick. I want to do 2 quick things. Number 1, remember, we talked about how in our world, really, we're dealing with not just disc cases, but we're also dealing with what? Peripheral neuropathy cases. So when a patient comes in and they have pins and needles, tingling, numbness, gait dysfunctions, balance disorders, temperature issues, question is always simple. Is that a spinal disc? Is that a primary spinal disc condition? Number 1. Or number 2, is that a peripheral neuropathy entrapment? Is that a spinal structural dysfunction from a nerve perspective? Is this a metabolic disorder? Is this an endocrine disorder? Why is the patient presenting with these symptoms? We are in the circulation business. As chiropractors, there's another C for you right there. We're in the circulation business. We remove nerve interference and we increase blood flow, and blood flow is the prerequisite to increased oxygen, increased healing, increased function by the mitochondria, increase in function. So I want to show you 2 quick things, and I want you to wait till you see this. This is so cool. All right, so I'm going to show you one thing. One is a graphic, and then I'm going to show you a video to expand your head space a little bit, which again was only previously ever shown at the national certifications, which Dr. Kaplan and I are the only ones on the planet exclusively. This is our 11th year teaching it. 11th year, will be sold out. Boy, do we got surprises for you. So let me share my screen super quick again. Hopefully you can see it. Can you see that? Yeah, I think you can. All right, so let me see if I can find this real quick. There it is. I think we got it. Let's go to work. Here we go. How about there? There we go. All right, so this is something that was created by Dr. Kaplan. The reason that this chart was created was to be able to educate patients in terms of length of time of healing. Often, as you know, when Dr. Kaplan teaches at our boot camps and the Chiro events, the communication of success, he'll often talk about analogies. He'll talk about metaphors. He'll talk about creating visual pictures. And one of the things he'll often ask a patient, and ask the doctors to ask their patients, is, if you broke a bone, how long would that bone take to heal? Well, most of you know that answer, if not all of you. And by being able to connect the dots, being able to understand that discs are avascular, meaning, in other words, there's no blood flow to the disc. So we have to talk about hydration. And when we talk about hydration, we're talking about increasing the pump mechanism. That chart is a game over chart. That chart will be in everybody's email box. If you're Disc Centers of America, if you want to email us, we will send you a PDF of it. You can put it in your patient file. We're giving them out. We're giving out camera ready at the next. I'm so bad on surprises. I really, I'm good in almost everything I do. That's an exaggeration. I'm only good in a few things. But the truth is, I'm really not good at keeping secrets. And that's one of the surprise secrets we're giving away in about 2.5 weeks at the chiro event. I'm sorry, at the boot camp. I'm sorry, but I want to show you a super quick video. This was a video that Dr. Kaplan put together that tells the story as to why, if you're not in the disc business and you're not in the nerve business, then this is your wake-up call.
If you want to make money, you have to spend money. The drug industry shows you that. $30 billion. Ads for prescription drugs appeared 5 million times in just 1 year, capping a recent surge in U.S. marketing. These numbers soared over 20 years as part of the broad, and we want to know, why there's no money for chiropractic? Because the drug industry's taken over.
For the nagging joint pain and stiffness of osteoarthritis.
When morning comes in the middle of the night. Cholesterol.
You know when you feel the weight of sadness.
Chances are you've had a clot, but now pills.
Research estimated marketing reached $30 billion in 2016, up from $18 billion in 1997. I mean, this is Dartmouth giving it. This is Dartmouth studies. This will all be on the INA website. And this is stuff you want to give out to your patients. Now watch this. Only the United States, this is very powerful, and New Zealand allow prescription drug advertising. Do you realize that? Only 2 countries in the world allow prescription drug advertising. You see, the drug dealers, when I grew up, they were worried about the guys in the corner. It's the guys in the white jackets now. Listen, if oxycodone is of epidemic proportion, where do they get the oxycodone? What are they looking for? They're looking for help. And the problem with stem cells is now you got to bring a medical doctor into your office. Now you got to start doing injectables, and now you raise your exposure. If it's something that you're good at and trained at, but remember, you can't even give the stem cells. You have to have a nurse practitioner or someone in there to do it. So what I'm saying is, hold on. If I can help people with neuropathy naturally and keep them, and with this problems naturally, because see, you're either in part of the drug world or you're not part of the drug world. And I'm not saying drugs aren't necessary, but I'm saying if people think that drugs will work, they think, well, gee, if I take these pills, I don't have to go see Dr. Wang 3 times a week. But if they understand that the pills have side effects, give you an example, and I'll talk about it. And I know this stuff. How do I know it? Because I study it. An example, Lyrica. Lyrica is the most prescribed drug for neuropathy, right? It's only known to work in 50% of the cases. And in the 50% of the cases, it only helps them up to 60%. So of 50%, they can only get a 60% improvement. And 23% get side effects from the drugs. So what do? And remember, it's not even FDA approved. It was FDA approved for seizures. And a lot of people, one of the side effects, guess what is? Seizures.
With failed back surgery reaching epidemic proportions, and recent studies out of Washington University stating that back surgery is often unnecessary, what is the solution? Well, non-surgical spinal decompression was originally developed by Dr. Alan Dyer, the Minister of Healthcare for the country of Canada, also the founder of the defibrillator. Later research was done by Dr. Norman Shealy, MD, a Duke graduate who later taught at Harvard University. Dr. Shealy is the most published in the world on spinal decompression. His studies, the Shealy-Bergmeyer study, showed an 86% success rate. But recently, another study that came out was the McClure study that was done by Dr. Dennis McClure, MD, and Bethany Farris, MD. This study was done on 415 patients. The amazing thing was, of patients that Dr. McClure would normally operate on, of those, he had a 92% success rate. Overall, globally, throughout the entire study, he had an 88.2% success rate. This was not only presented throughout the United States at medical conferences, it was published in the United States Musculoskeletal Review, later republished in the Orthopedic Journal Spine. Non-surgical spinal decompression is changing the way that the world treats back pain. Yes, there is a non-surgical solution. And what we do At conferences, what we provide is training to how to be the best at what you do, how to change the world. And that's the importance of being nationally certified in spinal decompression.
That was so much fun. That was so much fun to show. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, listen, you have a decision to make, doctor. Do you want to be a doctor or a dummy? I want to be a doctor. No, but you have to go to school for that. No, I want to be a doctor. I want to close cases like Passaggio. Like Passaggio. Oh, my God. Here's what I'm going to give you, doctor. Let me give you facts. Okay, we talked a little bit about neuropathy. So Jane Distard, MD, University of Washington, and Michael Weiss, MD, okay, said, gee, sciatica and foot drop are contingent with neuropathy. It's a motor neuron lesion. So hold on. So people coming into your office, if you look at the Hagen study, the Berry study, the Viscosky study, they're going to say that balance and strength are a way to diagnose neuropathy. So if you balance test them, as Dr. Murphy would do, MD, from the Mayo Clinic, you would understand. And then if you want me to give you more, you go to Barron, you can go to Binder. I mean, there are studies that show that neuropathy and sciatica are correlated. The Feinberg study, Dr. Feinberg, MD, showed that the most common symptom of neuropathy is sciatica. So the question I'm going to ask you, doctors, if you have a patient that has a disc lesion, do they also have neuropathy? And are you treating them appropriately? And Dr. Karaman came up and he has supplements and he does a video. And anyone that wants to see the video that he sent to Perry and I, just send an email to thegreatdrbar.com, thegreatdrbar.com, and we'll get you that video. Or you can go to docbone77 at AOL.com or New Patient Now, because the guy's the king of the internet. See, what we have to talk about, doctor, is EED. What is EED? It's expanding episoidal decompression. And we know that last year there were 80,000 failed back surgeries. And they went to the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons. There were 100 there. And they said, how many people would have back surgery? 1 out of the 100 said yes. So if the orthopedic surgeons put it down, if you have 50% of the people have failed back surgery syndrome, and then if you look at the Dial study at the University of Washington, the second one is only a 35% chance. The third one is only a 15% chance. So let's talk about Tiger Woods, one of the greatest golfers in the world. Do you think he couldn't afford the best doctors? When they said to Tiger, well, do you want to go to Dr. Giafrida? He's okay. But do you want to go to Dr. Stephen Giafrida? Oh, he's the best. We choose the best. So here Tiger Woods, unlimited money, went for the best. Doctors, if you don't have the book, you need to have the book. We put this together. Why? Because nobody can copy what Perry and I have put together. Nobody. And then with the help of Devin and help of my son, we put together the student edition because Dr. LaRusso, who's the #1 expert for NCMIC, who we'll have at the next Zoom meeting or one after that, and he's going to do a whole thing on why the decompression, you need to be nationally certified. Why you need to study the Shealy protocols. Why? It's the first question they're asking about practice case. Rigosi machine. Who taught you the protocols? What protocols do you use? If you don't know the answer, doc, you fail. Well, our doctors use the Shealy protocols. You want to learn the Shealy protocols? We're going to teach them. Our doctor, and things that you get there, I don't even know if Perry's going to show you all the gifts that we have at the event. I went to my warehouse today. We give you a disc. Do you have this, Perry? Well, look at this. You want motivation after motivation? Hold on. You want the 1-minute motivator because 5 minutes takes too long? Here's the 1-minute motivator. You want to learn Awaken the Wellness Within? We have that. You want the book that's 200 pages? You come to the event. We have $1,000. You want to get the videos? We'll give you that. You want the chart? Which is amazing because we know that healing takes time. And that if you understand the STAR study, the Murphy study, the Hagen study, the Viscosky study, the Baron Binder and Rasmussen study, that you're going to understand that you have to know these studies. Imagine if you said to a patient, imagine that you could say to him, well, you have 3 choices, okay? You have decompression, where if you look at the McClure study, it's a 91% success rate. If you look at the Shealy study, it goes from 88 to 91% success rate. If you go to the Leslie study, it goes 88.9% success rate. Or do you want to have surgery? Well, surgery, you have 80,000 failed back surgeries. Last week is going to failed back surgery syndrome. Or what if you want to get epidural? Oh, I forgot to tell you, epidurals are not FDA approved. Oh, what about the money doctors? Money. Oh, do you know that a single lumbar fusion is a cost of $26,000? Single lumbar. But guess what? They never do a single lumbar. What if they do a multi-lumbar? Oh, well, that's $60,000 to $100,000. What does that mean? Their co-payments. According to a Johns Hopkins study, the average cost for low back, non-operative, average is $6,000. Medicare gets paid $3,000 for rehab for that. And you're sitting there, and then, what about traction? Physical therapists do traction. The Hood study showed a 50% success rate. The Shealy Birdwire study was the highest, showed a 52% success rate. The Matthews study said it should even done. And then you look at the Bodak study, because Bodak was the first one that said, is it muscle or is it disc? And he said, no, it's disc related. And you have to know that a subluxation becomes a bulge, and a bulge becomes a herniation. If you take this vertebrae and you take it out of place and you start to squeeze it, look what happens. Can you see that? Look what happens to that disc. Look, the disc will eventually touch the nerve. And guess what? That's pain. Now, here's the question. Let's talk about the basics. So we have an annular tear. So it goes through the annulus, the cartilaginous fibers, and now it's touching the nerve. Now hold on. Once it touches the nerve, could that be a form of neuropathy? If it's a bulge, not neuropathy, herniation, now you have that. And could you sub-care for decompression neuropathy? Are you being the best doctor you want to be? You want to be, listen, I admire all of my clients that are here tonight. Alan Delgado, Alan, I love you. You are my hero. 81 years old. And by the way, Devin, where's your Distance America white coat? Next time I see you, you better be wearing the white coat or don't even come on this webinar. Come on. You're a doctor 20. Hey, right? That's how we work, Mark. Listen, I don't care if he's Perry's son. I expect the best of him. Why? Because I know how talented he is. But you have to be a doctor 24/7, 7 days a week. And Mark, you look like crap tonight too. Put on your white jacket, for God's sake. You're going to come to my webinar, Mark? What? You close a few decompression means and you think you're a big shot? You're a little, let me tell you, you know, Mark, the difference between a little shot and a big shot is? A little shot is a big shot, a little shot is a little shot that keeps shooting. I was a little shot. I'm 5'8", I'm white. I played college ball. They brought me my jersey at my birthday party. But here's why, doctors, because I wanted it. What do you want? What do you want? Win formula, whatever is necessary. You know, when you start to know that the studies, and you go through the book, and you go to the American Academy of the Dr. Dyer studies, and you look at the Longworthy studies. I mean, there were so many studies, the Bodak studies, the Ironman study. I mean, we can go on and on. Okay, you getting ready to show something? Perry, go ahead, baby.
Yeah.
Take over, brother. I mean, healing takes time. Decompression starts with the MRI. I mean, here's a phenomenal thing. I love this. I'm glad Perry put this up. Actually, you know, and I'm going to go a couple minutes over. Let me tell you why. I love the doctor saying, why? Here's what the doctor said. Why should I order an MRI? Or the dummies say that. I don't need an MRI, Dr. Kaplan. Hold on. Let me show you the percentages. Abnormal findings on lumbar spine and CAT scans. Now look at this on healthy pain-free subjects. Now this is from the American Academy of Neuroradiology. Now look at people in their 20s. 40%, almost 40% of disc degeneration. In their 40s and to 60s, which is the bulk of your practice, goes to 70 to almost 90%. If you're not ordering MRIs, doctors, and you want to know why you're failing, because you're not being a good doctor. I'm with the head of Trump today, and you know, and listen, I'm a coach. I want the best, and I say, listen, you have to understand, Tony, that the enemy of great is good. Listen, I love, Mark, that you're on tonight. I love all the doctors. My son, I love that you're on tonight. Okay, Bernadette, I love it. Brad, come on. Craig, even David Collins. David, welcome back. Call me anytime, David. You get Karen Shoemaker. Oh, God, I could talk about Karen all day long. And originally, you had to walk through her house, her kitchen. She had one adjusting room in the house, and now she has probably more decompression tables than Donald Trump. Matter of fact, you all have more decompression tables than Donald Trump. You know, and you know, you have Foster Cullen. Foster's an MD, DC, and he's relentless. Kim, Larry Holt, the best of Vegas, Mark Shane. I mean, and I got the two Shanes from Minnesota, from Wyoming, Thomas Conseco. I mean, and then my king of neuropathy, who's Tim Karaman. And get his videos. But you have to understand, doctors, you have to understand the Dio study. You have to understand the University of Washington study. You have to understand that pain, numbness, synesthetic, loss of balance. And who's that study? That's the Murphy study, and that's the James DeStar study at the University of Washington. Okay? You have to understand these. And I sit down with the patients, and I'm going to say the same question I asked you tonight, doctors. I say to the patient, what do you want? What price are you willing to pay? They came to you for a reason, doctors. What do they want? What do they want? If they have neuropathy, these get free drugs. Lyrica, Cymbalta, and gabapentin. And guess what? None of them, doctors, none of them are FDA approved for neuropathy. They're all approved for seizures. I mean, medications known to cause neuropathy, they're all there. And anyone that comes to the event will give you that as well. I'll give you this page. You don't take pictures of it. You have to do it. I mean, so if you want to know what it is, let me tell you, the big pharma is winning. That little puppet said it well. Watch television tonight. I guarantee everybody from here on in, here's your homework tonight. How many drug commercials will you see the rest of the night that you're watching television? You're going to see for fast food, gee, that's going to cause indigestion, acid reflux. You're going to see for cars, that everybody wants a new car because by the time you watch commercials, and then you're going to see drugs. Those are the keys. You know, unless you're at Devin's house, and at Devin's house, he's going to be watching what his father tells him to watch, which is going to be, you know, what are the best things that you can do? How does America become America? How do you become a great doctor? Let me tell you something. Devin is the luckiest guy in the world because he has a father that not only that coaches his son, but teaches his son. And there's a big difference between coaching and teaching. We want our sons to be the best. Nothing makes me prouder than Jason. There's a reason why we're in over 200 clinics. We're actually more than 201 in 43 states. 43 states. Why? Because we are the innovators. We understand the Feinberg study. We understand the Apfel study. We understand the Murphy study. We understand the Ironman study. We understand the Berkeley study, the Collider study. And we have the highest converting level of spinal decompression nerve cash packages in America. We have more $1 million. I'll challenge any coach out there. Okay? Why? Even one of the great ones. Okay? Larry Marston, whose son is a chiropractor, sent it to my son and one of our doctors in Boca Raton, who Dr. Brockton, who happens to be on it. He said, you know why, Dr. Kaplan? I want the best. The best. Doctors, here's your chance to be the best. If you're not a client, you need to become a client. If you're a client, let's get together. You need to have a few things. Clients. If you don't have the big book, you need the big book. I want you to walk in the room and say, a Harvard neurosurgeon helped us write this book. My name is listed in this book. And let me tell you, when you put it on the desk and you make that sound, they understand that you're not playing at the game. And when you study, and you talk about the Ironman study, the Bergmeyer study, the Kalaydia study, the Wasserman study, the Versted study, the Dishtar study, the Murphy study, the Hagen study, the Barron, Binder, and Dickinson study. Doctors, when you can sit down with a patient and show them that Dr. Dio shows what it is, and you can show the Hood study, the Murphy study, the Leslie study, the Pergolesi study, the Macario study. Why do I know these studies? I study them. I want to sit down. I deal in one of the most successful country clubs in America. And I'm not bragging, but we have professional athletes that drive almost an hour to see my son. Why? Because they know he's the best. And let me tell you, don't think because he's my son, he gets a pass. I'm hard on him. I push him. I want more. So you know what, doctors? If you're a guest tonight, he's for a lot of $1 million practitioners tonight. From Karaman to Lasagio to Wang to Kaplan. I mean, a lot of them. I keep going on and on, but I'm tired. The point is, you need to come to the Cairo event. You want to get the success book. You want to get the 1 minute motivator, the 5 minute motivator. You know, Perry calls it the bonus library. Yeah, and you know what? As Perry would say, want. What do you want? Whatever it takes. What attitude do you have? But now is your time, because as Perry said, the clock is ticking. If you don't do it, someone's going to come in your area and they're going to take your territory. Our brand is the #1 brand in the industry. I challenge people to our brand. When they go online and they see that you're part of Coke, that you're part of the biggest thing in the world. So hold on, look at this. Perry put a new, unbelievable. Never see me so slide. You'll get a 200-page manual, $249. Awaken the Wellness Within, $50. 5 minute motivator CD package, $150. The 1 minute motivator book, $30. A guide to veterans. Wow, that's big. You want to get into the veterans? Here's the way. Imagine this: one patient from the veterans, one patient, 200 decompression success guide, $300, and there's more. Hold on. What about the 3 C's, the capture, the conversion, the close? I'm going to put $500 on that. I mean, we have so many gifts that you will get if you come to the Cairo event. Perry is $979, and guess what? He didn't even add the 3 C's, the capture, the conversion, the close. We have more than. I will tell you, you will walk away with more in one day. Now, let me tell you something. Am I selling? You bet. But how do I sell? One simple philosophy. I make my doctors better doctors. If you speak to, you didn't even include lunch. You didn't include a day with you and me. I mean, do you realize, doctors, what is one new patient? Here's the question. Before you pick up the phone, and here's what I'll do. For those of you that are my guests, and I see a bunch of guests there, I have 2 openings in July. 2. The first 2 that call, my gift. So you'll get $1,000 in value. First 2. So if I'm there right now, hold on, I can get all those books and more. The key is and more. My gift. And I'll tell you what, Perry and I will make a donation to Life University in your honor. That's how we work. You want to be the best doctors? You got to understand something. Do you want to play at it or do you want to own it? If you want to own it, let me tell you something. Because the bottom line is you got to understand the 3 C's. And you have to master them. The capture, the conversion, the close. If you can't master the Devin, look at you. Player. Start off that way. Now you look like a doctor. You don't look like an intern anymore. You don't look like a student at Kaiser anymore. Matter of fact, I would pay to see you. You know why? Because you're the best. That's exactly right. You know, and that's what I want. That's why I go to Tim Cameron. That's why I go to Alan Delgado. That's why I go to you, Mark Shane. That's why I go to you, Steven. Telesco. Come on, baby. Henry, shake your head. Do something. Henry, I know how talented you are. And Henry will tell you, I push him. Shane, I push you. You guys know I push you to be the best. Ron Brodkin, the enemy of great is good. So here's what I'm saying to you. Let's finish with this. It's time to get back to work. You want it? What price are you willing to pay? You want it? You got to do whatever it takes. That's the win formula. Whatever is necessary. You want to do that? We can help you. But you know what? What does it come to? Harry, we're talking about the 7 C's of confidence. You have to be able to look the patient in the eye, and you have to let them know, I'm the best. You have to let them know that you helped write the best book in the country, the book that's in the libraries. You have to let them know that you studied the Shirley protocols. You have to let them know that you're not average, that you're above average. I'm Dr. Eric Kaplan, saying thank you for being with me tonight. I hope you learned one thing. My father would say, even a clock that doesn't work is right twice a day. If you learned one thing tonight, Jason closes it up and says, Dad, I got one thing tonight. If you learned one thing, then tonight was worth your time. And you know what I say? There's 40,000 chiropractors out there. Hold on. How much did this cost? Nothing. And there are chiropractors that can attend this meeting, and they want to do decompression with a Chattanooga machine or a KDT machine or whatever, and they don't know what they're doing, and they don't know the research, and they're going to charge half of what you charge if you're a client. Why do my clients get the money? We teach them how to get the money. You want to know how to do the close? We'll teach you how to close the close. You want to know how to make money? Why? Because you're either an innovator, an imitator, or an idiot. That's Richard Branson. My doctor's not idiots. I make my doctors get nationally certified. I don't give them an option. Delgado, Shane, I expect Henry. You better get to the national certification program. To doctors that don't know me, you better get to the events. Hiller, Simpson, let's go, baby. Canseco. Are you kidding? Just because you have a name after a famous baseball player doesn't put you on top of my list. Giuffrida. I mean, you talk about Steven Giuffrida. Steven, how many years, Steven? Raise your fingers. How many years did it take to get you to join? 3 years. Are you happy now? Yes. Are you a better doctor now? You closed 4 cases? Is that what you're saying? Unbelievable. Are you a better doctor? Are you a better doctor? You better be, or I'm going to make you shave. Let me tell you, if you can't be a good doctor, you have to shave. It's the way it is. Look at Lastasio. See? His cheeks used to have, the bottom line, doctors, is what do you want? What price are you willing to pay? And if you want, like I said, my thing is for our doctors to be the best doctors. For our doctors to know the times. For our doctors to know the Baron Binder and Dickinson studies. For our doctors to know the Shealy study, the Shealy Kalani study, the Shealy Bergmeyer study, the Shealy Wasserman study. I go on and on. I study this stuff. And I'll tell you why. Not to impress you. Who the hell are you? I want you to impress the patients. I want you to sit down. Basically, when a patient comes into your office, I'm going to leave you with this. They have 2 choices. They either choose you in decompression now, or they choose surgery, or an epidural. And both have been known to fail. There's no downside to what we do. And yet, the number one reason that they sue chiropractors is for disc injuries. Why? Because you were too lazy to order an MRI, or you worried the patient can't afford it. You think when a medical doctor asks you to get an MRI, they give us crap if they can afford it or not? They put in their notes, you need an MRI. It's plain and simple. Be the best you can be. You went to school, Milan, you became a doctor. You're going to become a doctor. The DR to me stands for demand respect. If you haven't been doctors, to my doctors, if you haven't been to a boot camp in a while, you need to get to your next boot camp. To my guests tonight, thanks for being here. If you haven't been to an event, you know what? You want to take your practice next level? Get $1,000 plus in gifts, plus a lunch from the same chef who cooks for the president, or whatever. You want these things? Come. Why Perry and I do this? Let me tell you something. When I need money, I go to Perry for a loan. I mean, the bottom line is, when God needs money, Devin, he goes to your father for a loan. God would call him up and say, Perry, I need a little money. The point is, why do we do this? We love what we do. And we love chiropractic. And we felt that chiropractic as a profession was failing. The middle class of chiropractic has gone away. Doctors, if you're out there, and by the way, Eric Anderson, I love your backdrop. Could be the coolest backdrop of anyone that was on here tonight. So I expect to see your ass soon in Florida. The point that I'm saying to you is, and I look at Perry's backdrop, which is number 2, by the way. You took over as number 1. You actually look smart, Eric. I don't know if you're smart, but you look smart. I have a consultation room. That looks like that. Mark, come on. That's cool. But look at Perry's. If you look to the right, this. If you look to the left, $. This equals dollars. Doctors, I hope to see you soon. I love you. I appreciate you. I expect you. I leave with one word, win. Oh, thanks, Milan. Win. You need to do whatever's necessary. What do you want? What price are you willing to pay? Those are your questions that I leave you with. And then ask yourself, when you look in the mirror tonight, when you brush your teeth, ask yourself, Thomas Canseco, am I the best doctor I could be? Your mirror never lies. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the biggest loser of them all? Brush your teeth tonight and ask yourself, am I being the best doctor I can be? One neuropathy case could be anywhere from $3,500 to $4,000 a month. One neuropathy case a month could be worth $50,000 a year to you. One knee case could be worth $50,000 a year. One decompression a month, $50,000 a year. This could be a $150,000 meeting for those that don't know me. And you know what? If you're already closing one, what if I can help you close one more? What is your closing percentage? See, if you're only closing 50%, what if we can bring you to 60%? I know that Perry and I can do it. So I'm Dr. Eric Kaplan, and I'm saying, thank you for sharing your time with me. Perry Bard, Nobody, let me tell you something. If you enjoy these meetings, I want you to send a thank you to Perry Bard because he worked like an animal putting this together. And listen, we don't make money from this. We do it for our clients because we love you. We do it for potential clients because we love the profession. But Perry has to put this together. He audio tapes, he videotapes, he gets the videos. He works very, very, very hard. Devin, this is to you. If you learn one thing from your father, you'll learn nobody works harder and nobody has a better work ethic than your father. Nobody. Not even me. I'm number 2. But you know what? I'm happy being number 2. But I want you, Devin, to eventually be number 1. I'm Dr. Eric Kaplan saying I love you all. Thanks for being here. God bless.
So what a treat. I cannot, don't leave yet because I'm going to respond to your questions. I got your questions. I'm going to respond to them before you go. I'll show you some stuff. I'm going to recap a few things here because if you didn't catch it, and I have no idea what's flying out of his mouth, as you probably know, but I don't know if you know this, but Dr. Kaplan only lectures once every 2 years to one state. One state. All the states want him to teach CUs. He retired from doing it. He doesn't do it. But he does one state every 2 years. I'll tell you the state. Some of you are already on this. You know what I'm going to say. He had two weeks ago, he lectured for the great state of South Carolina. It's the only state that, and I asked him, I said, well, you're retired. I said, why do you when I say retired, what I mean is he's exactly like me. Because guess what? I'm retired. As a matter of fact, I retired about probably 3 years ago. And I sent out an email blast to everybody and it said, I'm retired. And I shot a video on it. And I got like 3 voicemails from Dr. Eric Kaplan saying, what's going on? Oh my gosh, is there something I need to know? And I said, didn't you watch the video? He goes, what video? I go, I shot a video and I said, I am retired completely from lecturing to any other groups for the rest of my life, with the exception of the National Spinal Decompression Certification, and number 2, our family of doctors, the Cairo event and boot camps. And that's the only doctors I like hanging out with. So why not? You know what I mean? We get, Dr. Kaplan and I get, once we wrote the book, now you got every state, and their sister and their brother saying, wait a minute, we need you to teach us. Want you to teach this? Will you teach this? And we're like, no, we're retired. We only lecture to our family of doctors, which is a membership-only group. These are members only. This is the best inner circle in the world. So I will answer your question. Thank you for sending it. So what just happened is this, okay? Oh, by the way, I'm so motivated right now. I think I'm going to go watch that TV show. I don't know if I think it's called Yosemite, because in 37 years, I've never seen Dr. Kaplan with a little bit of, or a lot of the fur going on here. I'm so motivated right now. I'm going to go watch that show and go grow a beard and listen to Grateful Dead music. So let me share some stuff with you before, obviously the ones that have hung out with us are obviously hanging out for a reason. Let me recap a few things here. Okay, so what happened was when he spoke at the South Carolina Chiropractic Society or Association, what happened was a number of doctors in the room already scooped up those seats for July 8th. Now the date is Saturday, July 8th. If you go to the website, it's www.thecairoevent.com. If there are any seats left, you will be given first access to it. Now, it is the best $249 you've ever spent in your life, 100% guaranteed. And this one, and I don't have a slide for this, but this one is the most special. And I'm going to tell you why. And you're going to say, wait a minute, you're just Dr. Bard, you may be exaggerating. What do you mean it's the most special? Well, I'm going to tell you it's the most special of 2023. Why? Because it's the only Cairo event. And we do this one time per year, only once, where we do it in our corporate training center. Yes, we still feed you. Yes, we basically do it. But basically, the reason we do it there is because it's kind of like a behind the scenes look at how we build the celebrity of the successful entrepreneurial branded doctor, which means you, doctors. So what happens is for $249, you get a chance to hang out with all these entrepreneurial doctors and then, yes, get this cool book, which we love, examples, pictures, just tons of stuff. But one thing I wanted to show you super quick, and for you, for hanging out, I think this is kind of worth it. One of the things we also give away is this, and I love this. And basically what this is the positioning the successful spinal decompression practice in 2023. Now, this is a brand new book that we put together specifically for July 8th. And it's got like a bunch of like ads and scripts and forms and stuff in it. And it's not, you notice, look, it's not 100, it's not like 200 pages. It's probably like, I don't know, 50 pages, but it's serious. And we're giving this out at the July 8th Cairo event for the doctors that came. I love this book. Oh my gosh. And yes, there is a higher value, 400 pages. There is a higher value when he autographs it for you. Yes, he'll autograph it for you. He will. I'm telling you. And just go on eBay. I'm telling you. Go check him out on eBay. The ones with his autograph go for like crazy amounts of money. I think it's kind of cool. But what also happens is I love this. I love this one because it was really, somebody said, well, gee, 5-minute motivator. Can't you do it in 1 minute? Somebody made a joke to him on the golf course. True story. And he said, right? And he said, what? How can't do it in 4 minutes? I mean, you can't, and then the other guy goes, I'll do it in 3 minutes, 2 minutes. And he goes, you know what? I'll do it in 1 minute and I'll put my money behind it and I will write a book on it. And he did. He wrote a book called The 1 Minute Motivator, which I love, which is great. In addition to that, number one bestseller. And you know what's kind of cool? Like, I don't know if you're like me, but like as I've gotten older, tell me if this is true, Dr. Canseco. Can't wait to see you, brother, in 2 weeks and your sweetheart. Looking so sharp, so cool for you to join us at the master class. Not too long ago. Was that cool in LA, right? Was that the bomb? Was that the deal? I'm so glad doctors like you, Dr. Roach, and his lovely wife, Lizette, and Dr. Schisler, all new to the family. All of you are going to be hanging out with us in 2.5 weeks at the boot camp. You're all going to be there. It's so cool. And then the next day, you can hang out with us too. You came to the Cairo event at that other place. This one's at our corporate office. But I don't know if you're like me, but as I've gotten older, sometimes, in lieu of reading, I like to listen to things. I'm more into like sometimes audiobooks and things like that. Like I feel like I could retain it and pick it up like so much quicker. So what we did was, a bunch of CDs. I don't know if you saw it. Oh my God. So they're all on like CDs and, so it's an amazing gift. What we also do is we give away a couple magazines. When we were on the cover of American Chiropractor, we wrote that. And oh, by the way, it was so good. Just hanging out with some other guy, as you know, who, by the way, happens to love chiropractic. As a matter of fact, we have a video on it. As a matter of fact, he's the only president in history that ever endorsed the chiropractic profession. And yes, we have it on video. And yes, it was the #1 most viewed video ever in the history of chiropractic. Yeah, kind of cool. Yeah, especially in the world we live in, by the way. And I don't know if you watched the TV show, Crack Addict, by the way. Has anybody watched that show, Crack Addict? Raise your hand if you've watched that show. Let me tell you something. Forget the name. You say what you want about the name. This is like one of the greatest shows in the history ever for our profession. What this doctor has done is she has really overcome so many barriers. But I could do a whole Zoom meeting on that. Maybe we will. But I want to share something else. This is another bonus. Yeah, more bonuses. Dr. Kaplan wrote an amazing book on how to get into the veterans groups. And the veterans facilities is basically, there are forms, there is a certain way to position this, there is a certain way to present it. He wrote a book on it and basically explains how to do it, which is super, super cool. These are all incredibly free gifts. I'm going to share it with you just in writing because I'm going to answer your response here that said you wanted to see it again. So I'll put that, let me put it back up for you real quick, super quick, so you can see it. Let me see it. Is it here? There it is. Beautiful. All right, there it is. Super quick. All right, so let's go back real quick, and it's Saturday, July 8th. You can do two things. You can go to Chiro Event right now, which you've already started doing, scooping up seats. So very cool to you. But write this phone number down. You ready? Write this number down. 888-990-9660. If you call that number right now, and those are the two, in other words, you can't get a free seat from the internet. You got to call the number to get the free seat because he just gave 2 free seats away. Yeah, 2 free seats. I have no idea what he was going to do tonight. It's just amazing. Let me see if the number is right there. There's the number right there. Yeah. For your request, 888-990-9660. Call that number right now. If it goes to voicemail, they'll call you back in the morning. Maybe tonight, I don't know, depending upon where you are in the country. And you can claim your free seat. You don't have to give any information except your name, your email address, and then they'll send you a confirmation package if there are any seats left. And I say if because after South Carolina, and plus, please bear in mind this, if you pick up the American Chiropractor magazine, you're going to see a full-page ad. If you pick up the Chiropractic Economics magazine, just came out, you're going to see a full-page ad. If you pick up Dynamic Chiropractic, you're going to see a full-page ad. All for July 8th at Chiro Event. So 99% of the doctors that have already scooped up the seats, they never called us, they never attended a Zoom meeting. What they did was they simply went to the website and scored the seat, got the confirmation. So what I'm telling you is, if you're curious, and you say, wait a minute, let me see if I can get that free seat. And if you can't get the free seat, trust me, the $249 is still the best gig going if there are any seats left. Personally, if it's me, I'm not fooling around. I'm going right to the website and just buying the seat because it's worth like mega times over. And as you noticed, I will tell you that the best decisions I've ever made in my life sometimes are what you may call an impulse decision, but I'm going to call it just trusting my heart. Trusting my heart, because you know why? Because I always knew the clock is ticking. Dr. Kaplan knows the clock is ticking. We know that you have a limited amount of time here as a doctor to be able to capture your market, to be able to dominate your demographic. We call that the double D's, dominating your demographic, and to be able to control your practice, your universe, your income level. Saturday, July 8th, an incredible amount of bonuses. You know, I'll tell you, I'll be very frank with you. Even if we never gave away one single bonus, it's still the greatest day of training ever. It's my favorite thing that we do. Even if we gave nothing away, it's still worth it because of the amount of content, because of the amount of examples, because of the interaction with Dr. Kaplan and all the other doctors in the room that are there to do the same thing that you're there to do, which is to be a better doctor, learn how to expand your consciousness, your vision, your world, your universe, and your income, and your bank account, and to be able to control your freedom. When I say freedom, to be able to be free, in other words, to be free to do what you want, where you want, when you want, with whomever you want, to go on as many vacations as you want, to buy the kind of cars you want, to be able to buy the amount of houses that you want, to have an incredible financial statement. As a chiropractor, you have the ability to do this and so much more. The date, July 8th, the value, priceless. Priceless. And to all the doctors that were hanging out with us here tonight, our family of doctors who've secured already your seats to the boot camp the day before, we cannot wait to see you. It'll be phenomenal, I promise. To the doctors that have secured their seats for the Chiro event on July 8th, you're in for an incredible treat. And that means you, Dr. Anderson. Great to see you, brother. Dr. Anderson, by the way, thank you for hanging out with us. Can I share a little bit about you? Raise your hand a little bit. Thank you, brother, with your approval. Let me share a little secret with you. Dr. Anderson is an awesome doctor, but he's also an awesome husband. He's an awesome family man. This is a doctor that when he told me his story, he served. He had a military background. And when he told me what his wife basically had to do, it hit me in a certain place, if you know what I mean. And I said, you know what? I said, you're just the coolest guy going. With your approval, Dr. Anderson, would it be cool if I sent you this 800-page book as my gift? Did I send it in the mail? We help each other. All boats rise when the tide gets high. We're all in this together. And why did I do it? It's the easiest answer in the world. Because I know in my heart of hearts, if roles were reversed, this doctor's in Colorado. I know if roles were reversed and he was kind of sitting where I've been sitting for all these years, and I was sitting where he was sitting, he would have done it for me in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. I didn't know you were going to be on this, brother. We're in the heart business. Oh man, just love it. I just love the fact that you're able to hang with us, and this is how we do it. And I hope to see you. You know what I mean? I know you couldn't make the one in California, but guess what? Sometimes the universe gives us another chance. And the best part is he helps those who helps themselves. I didn't make that up. You know what I'm talking about. If your intent, doctor, is to help more patients, serve more patients, give, as we would say at Life College, for the sake of giving, and for those life graduates out there, guess where I was on Father's Day weekend? And I'll show the picture if you want to see it. Training, working out, pumping iron in the Life Gym this past weekend. Yeah, I'm back home in Florida now, but I got the best Father's Day weekend to be able to work out with our two boys. One, who is a dentist, who's in the cash business of healthcare, doing crowns, doing implants, doing reconstructions, doing cosmetic, and doing cash-based packages for patients and making them look beautiful and feel beautiful because it's so worth it. A cavity becomes a crown potentially becomes an implant. They're in the same business as us. The other one who was on this, I don't know, is he still here? I don't know, he may still be here if he's still hanging around. That was our other son, who, by the way, is 8 weeks away from graduating chiropractic school. And this Father's Day weekend, I was given, and my wife was given, the best gift you could ever be given by your child, which is to be together. To be together. The bonus was when he told us that he passed part 4. And now all roads lead to the same title that we own, which is the greatest title in the history of the planet. Patients need you. Patients want you. Patients need to know more about you. You should not be the best kept secret in your market. Come to the Chiro event. Learn how you can be all that. Hang out with me. Hang out with Dr. Kaplan. Hang out with the most entrepreneurial doctors on the planet. It was so much fun tonight, and I can't wait to see you. For those doctors that scored a seat at the Chiro event on July 8th, boy, you're in for such a treat. We cannot wait to see you. Thanks for hanging out with us. And it just, as I always say, Dr. Lusaggio, Dr. Delgado, Dr. Tim Cameraman, Dr. Stephen Giuffreda, all family, by the way. This is our Descendants of America family. They came for one thing. That chart, I'll send you that chart. You put it in your new patient package. You explain to the patient how long it takes to heal. Paint visual pictures, better analogies, so much more. Dr. Kinseka, Dr. Collins, Dr. Hull, Dr. Chris. Oh my God, everyone I'm looking at is part of our family in Ohio, living large. He's going to be there in 2.5 weeks. How cool is that? Nobody, and I mean nobody, is having more fun than us, Dr. Kaplan, and our family of doctors. We cannot wait to see you. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time.